Hey, how you guys doing? Okay, let's dive into some puzzles. Okie dokie. Let me see here. Let's get a sip of soda. Sorry about that. Okay, dokie. So we have a knight moving here. The knight wants to go there. So the knight wants to take this bishop because of this pin here. So is there any way we could take advantage of that pin? Potentially we have knight takes knight check. Bishop takes knight. Queen takes queen, bishop takes queen, and bishop takes bishop, knight takes. I think actually white's better in this scenario here. So how do we want to do this? Potentially we have knight takes knight, bishop takes, bishop takes, queen takes. No, that doesn't work. hmm. Let's see, he gave up these two squares there. So, is there any way to infiltrate that? He also gave up the protection of that. So this knight that was here was protecting that. So there's something behind that idea. Maybe it has something to do with bishop takes bishop, bishop takes knight, bishop takes bishop, knight takes check, queen takes. Not liking that too much. Hmm. Potentially we have bishop takes pawn. If queen takes pawn, then we have knight. Huh. One second, I'm gonna get a drink soda. So bishop takes bishop. Rotate takes, rotates. Bishop takes, knight takes, check. One sec, I'll be right back. guys doing? I'm back. Sorry about that. Alright. How you guys doing? Okay, so we need to get into some of these tactics here. Oh boy, this is a very interesting one for sure. I'm thinking, I was looking at knight takes, bishop takes, queen takes, and we really have nothing after that. I looked at bishop takes, knight takes, queen takes, and really there's nothing after that. I looked at takes, nothing. And then now we need to analyze rook to d3. I'm trying to see if we bring another attacker in, because then now you gotta calculate if knight takes c5, rook takes a knight, bishop takes, knight takes check, and you have won the game. So I'm just wondering if that's the idea. Do you guys have any ideas here? Oh boy. His idea is to reinforce right there with the knight, so we got to do something that's going to infiltrate fast and hard. See, my idea is, let's say we play rook there, right? And then he plays knight takes. We could actually play knight takes, knight check. And then if bishop takes, we could play rook takes. I don't know. Let me see here. Rook there, knight takes, bishop takes, queen takes. Knight takes rook, so I don't like that, not one bit. Anybody want to come on and help? I'm more than happy to check that out. Oh boy. Trying to see if there's anything else that could apply for that. I'm gonna give it a shot. Yeah, that was the only thing that made any sense. There we go. So knight takes bishop. We check. If he retreats back, we just win it for nothing. So there. Castle kingside, and I'm not sure if we get anything for that. I really don't see anything better than, so he takes. If he retreats back, so he takes. I don't really see anything better than. Yikes. This doesn't work because of there. I believe that's close to mate. Let's see here, there, check. Over. That'd be checkmate there. So we can't, so here loses to here, there, and that's mate. So if we played here, takes, so here, takes, and takes. we just move the king? We potentially could just move the king over. So if let's move the king over. Knight could move there and threaten mate. Or knight takes. Well, potentially we have here. If he takes there, we can actually play queen. We can actually take here. If he takes there, we take there. And so I believe we have mopped up everything. So that's one idea. Or we can even take back with our bishop. But no, we wouldn't want to do that. This gives me a headache. If any of you guys have an idea, I'm more than happy to entertain that idea. Let's see here. Anything. Huh. Sometimes you gotta trust yourself. That's because when the Lord gives you an ability to do something, do it. Don't. Sometimes the hardest thing to do is to do that. So just keep that in mind. Do. Let's see. What do I want to do here? Let me see. What do I want to do here? There's There's there. Knight to d6. There's bishop takes. So bishop takes, pawn takes, bishop takes, bishop takes, queen takes pawn, check, and so if bishop takes, let's say rook moves over. And you take there, and then he takes here. I don't know. Then I maybe I have rook to f7. Potentially there. Nope. Then you got mate. Really don't see any future with the knight move. So I'm not sure if I see any future with that move. There's really no counter to that. Nothing. And remember, it's all about winning, so it's not about getting ahead and stuff. So let's see if there's any. While we're waiting, let's see if there's any studies. Let's see. No, I don't want to do coaches practice tournaments. I just need to teams tools. Just one sec, guys. I have to. I'm gonna AFK just for a second. Pull up a game to go over. Let's do this one. Alright, we're gonna get one that goes into an end game. It's Wesley So. Hold on, guys. Alright, we're back on now. Back on. Sorry about taking so long. I just want to get a Wesley So game. Cause my brain was not in full swing, so I was like, didn't want to get anything wrong. So I was like, you know what? Let's go over a game. You never can go wrong if you have a game. So let's do that. This is one of Wesley So's best games, so we're gonna have to see how it goes. It's notable best games. So queen. Let's get prepared to play there. are potentially there. So let's see what's his idea. Oh, good. He wants to stop here, and if takes there, which is a mistake. You have the ability to either, let's see, I think potentially. Probably we would take, no, well, we could just take with our queen. That might be best because it's attacking there and there. So then you'd have to play at that point, and we can then pin the queen to the knight to the queen, and if here, and then if he tries expanding, and you're in an okay position at this point. If like bishop, something like that, you just castle, and you're pretty much, Wesley's pretty much good. So castle queenside, bishop pins, knight comes slicing and dicing in. B5. You gotta love it when that happens, because this locked down that position so well. There's no the only way to save would be there. So queen there, and knights just come crushing in, smashing in. Don't, if you don't have to, don't exchange. And now castles. Wesley So's pieces are pretty well activated, so that's good. Now he's attacking the bishop and expanding on the queen side. So who could expand the most on the castle side is important. There we go. Wesley's just coming in with his linebackers going, yeah, you want to play King? You want to play HQ or QB? I have my guys coming. Then G4. Wow. Smash. You gotta love that. Yeah. Because he's willing to give back the piece. Because it's not about pieces, it's about checkmate. So, gotta keep that in mind. Takes, check. And now the bishop comes. Takes. And now he's gonna see if he can go after these 2 points there. There we go. He took that pawn, and the rook's pinned. Keep an eye on that. Takes. Now be careful. You can't play here because of that nasty move, so. And remember how he's coming in with attacks? And there's no way to stop Should have played here. Let's see. Right, he should have played up. And what for perpetual? And it's a draw, so there's really no way to stop that. And it's all back here. One inaccurate move. That move was a blunder. So, you have to take that into consideration when you're, let's see, it's computer analyze. Let's take it a second to analyze. So just gotta give it just a sec. You just gotta give her a sec for a second. We just have to go through. It's analyzing the position at this moment. So we'll. It's almost done. I think it is done right now. Okay, sweet. It's all done. Nice. Okay. Now let's go through computer analysis. Okay, boom, boom. Let's get to the part, and we'll just go through it a little bit quick. We'll get to the part where the computer said that, I think it was either white. What point is at this point? What's this point here? White's still slightly better. So 0.6, 0.4. Okay, this is the losing move. It says the correct move would have been king to b1 takes, and that's better, but this actually gave black the upper hand. So at this point, once we place the right move, takes. See where are we at? Okay. So bishop comes in is actually best. So takes would have actually been a better idea than knight takes, and I kind of see why isolated pawns, and I think because white has, yeah, black's gonna have to move, so white's gonna have to move to get out so that if takes happens, he could take back. But so you just that type of a thing. So black made a slight inaccurate move. Let's see what would have been better. A6 is a better idea, because then if pushes, if he pushes here, you come there. If he plays there, you kind of take. Okay, I think I see why Wesley didn't want to go down that route, though. And then that's crazy. What if knight takes? Oh, and then you have that. Okay. So knight couldn't take at that point. He'd have to play here. And he'd take there. Okay, gotcha. You'd be up. It'd be interesting for sure. For sure. So rook f2 is incorrect. Instead of that, f5 would have kind of kept everything in grips of at least holding on. F5 would have blocked the bishop out. Also started somewhat of a counterplay on the king side. But like, that's an interesting idea that takes. And potentially probably knight jumps in. Yeah, knight jumps in there. Or takes or something like that. And you have like takes here. They have takes, and yeah, you can't take here because of the smashing move there. And basically it's all over because you have to move there and then you take. It's like, oh, what did I just entail myself into? It's like, yikes. So that was one of the problems. So knight d4 was an incorrect move. b3 at this point is actually correct. And knight b4. Now you have two jump points. So you have to play there, and then you take. Knight takes, and more likely you're gonna play queen there because that attacks the knight and prepares there. That has a whole bunch. So there, then you just take there, and if the king moves, I think you could just pry open the king side with a3. And if he plays there, you just let me see here. Yeah, because you're threatening to come in. And queen comes back. And smack. And if he plays there, I think you potentially have mate, if I'm not mistaken. Mate 2. Yeah. So I missed that idea. b4 is still the potential move that could be could fulfill. And there's checks there. you move up, and if he plays here, you move up, and if he plays there, it's kind of like run all the way home, and it's like it takes there, bishop takes, and yeah, not fun. So that was an inaccurate move. At this point, b4 was incorrect. G to e8 is actually correct. It looks kind of odd because of takes there, but that actually holds all your material advantage. And now you can play h3, yeah. And I really don't see any sitch. Then you go h4, and it's like if he plays h takes, you take. Alright, rook takes. Nice. Okay, rook takes. If takes, then you push, and if takes there, check. And then if he tries here, mate 3. There's two mates. I think you can mate there, or you can mate there. So the two mates would apply to that move. So b4 was incorrect, and taking was an error. So on this part, best move for that, for our opponent, would have actually been to have played queen g, and then taken advantage of this weak point. He takes b, knight takes, e takes, c, and kind of tried to give the king some flight. Hey, how you doing? Just going over a Wesley So game. Hey, Big Reno. So you push, and he has to bring his rook into the fight. At that point, you just take. So the computer says to move the king, so you move, and then takes and takes, and it's really an interesting position. But Wesley So was very blessed that his opponent played takes here rather than the correct move, which was queen to g3. So a takes b, g3, knight moves. So far so good. C takes b, a5. So at this point, best move is b5, because even if takes here, you could play queen, and now you're attacking here and here, and if he tries pushing there, you just take, and now you're up so much. You have a threat here, threat there, threat here, so he's gonna have to double up. Bishop takes, knight takes, and then queen can infiltrate in here, rook can infiltrate there. It's a whole bunch. So there. Yeah, it is. It is a crushing move for sure. So it takes. I turned on the computer analysis, and I just wanted to see what the computer thought. So his opponent did he should have taken. Rather than that, he allowed Wesley So to take, but see, that was actually a mistake. C7 is actually the correct move because it takes advantage of this open file. But it looks kind of unnatural. If takes there, what can you do? Well, you really can't take, because then you lose the rook, and then the whole house starts falling apart. And if you take there, you actually play rook takes its mate in 7. So, like here, here, oops. Now you get out of there, not B. There, up, check. And now you're threatening to bring your queen in and your rook. So you place there. And let's see, what can we do? Let's say he plays here just to see. Okay, check. Check. Mate. So that's why he plays there. It kind of delays the inevitable. It's gonna happen. And then rook slides over and bang. You see you later. So takes was an inaccurate move. E3 was an error. Should have played F3 because F3 if takes it connects the pawn structure, and then Wesley would have to come down over. Kind of a little bit of maneuvering, check, and still Wesley's winning, but this move just enabled a mega attack. Like F6, G6 is a mistake. He should have actually played queen. Sorry, wait a second. What did I do? Okay, there. Should have played queen takes. Remember, he can't hurt you in this situation. There's nothing he can do. Just pick up a pawn. Pick up a pawn. And there, and then check. And now you save the position. You're up a whole pawn. Let's see, 4 versus. Actually, no, it's 4 versus 4. But these, like Yazzer, in his perfect, are the chess course that he did, his DVD chess course. He considered these each a half a pawn because they're not really doing anything. But if it's an end game, potentially they're okay, but you have to remember there's nothing to protect them, so we have to keep that in mind. Wesley So's pawn structure is also much better. And then I know you're thinking, what happens if he takes here? Oh, you can't because of discovery, so just gotta move there. Check, and if he takes and he blocks, and if he takes here, now the rook's attacked, and so if he tries, let's just say here or say there, you just move your queen in. And if there, you just take, it takes, and you move the king. And if check, you can just drop your rook back and say thank you for the exchange, and I would love to play another game with you later, but at this moment I am done. So let's get to another critical point. So the best move was A2, because that allows the infiltration potentially of rook or king to come in. But like what we talked about, he would just take, and slightly better. Actually, Wesley So would be totally better. He's got 2 passers, connectors, so it's almost winning. A little bit hard to win, but potentially you could just win it easily. Not one problem at all. So takes, and that's one thing I was wondering why he didn't play that either. I think he was worried about there, but remember, so he takes that. You take here. He takes there. Remember, he can't really run. If he runs there, what do? We drop our knight in. We have these two connectors, and we're still ready to go. Yeah, true. True. Exactly. That's, you can't get upset with him. He's still, in this age, he was still a youngster, so I'm just showing you where all the move potentials could have been played, and he's improved so much more. And hey, he improved enough. He's in the Caddies tournament, so that's got to tell you something, huh? 1 second. Oops, no, it's just me. 1 sec, we're almost done. Hold on. Back into the fray. Let's see if there's any more spots that we can look at. Okay, so far so good. E4. Knight takes. And see, that was a sitch that I even wondered about. There really was no reason for him to do the knight. I wondered why he didn't play there. Because if he checked here, he could just move his king up, and you can either move your pawn. I'd probably, I don't know. Would I, when I push that, actually? Oops, my bad. There, I forgot it. He can't do that, so he's got to attack. And if he plays back, and now White's got to be very careful here, because potentially he has a sitch. He's got to monitor everything that's going on. And if played there, you do have a potential push. I'd probably, I don't know, what would happen if he pushed? He has a check, okay. Oh, I see, he could take there. Okay, yeah, he loses his two connectors. Gotcha. So it's better just to develop and kind of just move his king over there to attack that. Oh, nice. Even better. That's so much better. Yeah, White's better to get his pawns are rolling. And now you're threatening what looks like a mate almost. This is kind of a little scary if you think about it. You probably could drop your knight back there and almost say, probably the king, potentially. Oh, potentially rook. Yeah, because you're going to want to get rid of that knight. And now you bring your knight in, and ooh, I don't know. That's kind of a little scary here. And you now have him locked on that side. So interesting for sure, Okay. So 0, 0. It's 0 at this point. Very equal position. He's playing right so far. All the best moves. And at this point, there's one move. White basically throws the whole position at this point. This move here is the losing move, because I want you guys to kind of see why it's the losing move. It's like, really? How do you miss that? How do you miss this? How could you have missed that? You know, smack, and it's all over. It's not all over. I mean, he'd play there, and potentially it'd be a draw. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot. It's this move here that was the blunder. My bad. He should have played over here. That's what I mean. Isn't that funny? I played the correct move. It's like really. I'm like, wow. That's funny, because what happens once this gets taken, and when knight took, this pawn can get pushed, and there's not enough time for the knight to get back. End up queening. So he's just gonna kind of have to now suck it up and admit that he's down a whole rook, and so that's not fun. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, that was a game that it was in one of Wesley So's best games. So I was working on puzzles rather than playing on blitz games or those games. I'm gonna try to do more puzzles and games here, because playing games are fun, online, but you have to remember you have to study as well. Study is very important, and that's one thing. You can have fun, play, but you need to study. 1 second, hold on. There we go. So let's get back to our puzzle at hand, and you're more than welcome to help Big Reno with the puzzles. So there's no wrong answer. There's only learning. So there's a couple ideas that I was looking at. There's bishop takes pawn, and if rook moves, you potentially have queen takes. But the only problem I see with that is I can't bring my bishop back here and act like a pin. So I was thinking maybe if I played queen takes on g6, knight takes, but I can't play here because of this pawn. So it's like, what do I do? What do I do? It's like, really? I have knight takes, but I don't feel that white gets anything after the pawn takes. There's really nothing that he really acquires out of that I can see. The only thing I would say that potentially is an idea is that maybe we could play queen takes, pawn takes, bishop takes, and like here, after takes there, and if takes, and if queen comes up, I don't know if we have enough even for that, for the piece. See, what makes me think that the bishop might be the right idea is that when the knight moves, we could actually play knight takes c5. So it also unleashes that if takes, let's see, here, I guess he could take, couldn't he? But then you take there. Queen takes. Oh, queen can't take, my bad. So you can actually win. Whoa, that's here, and then here, takes, takes, takes. So bishop takes might potentially be the idea, because it takes advantage of this rook. But there's only one sitch about that. Potentially he has rook to f5, but then I guess he could retreat back and attack the rook right through to the bishop, couldn't he? Maybe this actually gives him more of a opportunity. That's really the only thing I could see that gives white any adequate compensation for any of that stuff that he's doing. Yeah, I like that. Go figure. Why not just take? Huh. That's right. Yeah, I really thought that that'd be a good move, but it's not what the computer wanted. I was looking at the queen takes, but I didn't think that he was gonna do that. That's like totally giving the game away with the rook move. Had the right idea, just for some reason didn't follow through. Okay, dokie. Okay, dokie. Let's see here. Boy, white's really got black in a pincer maneuver for sure. So close to mate. Trying to see if there's any idea potentially with that. I'm trying to see if I can get a piece somehow, get that, and then up and over. Somehow able to do that. I'm pretty sure potentially it might be knight g4, pawn takes, rook takes. Honestly, takes, takes, takes. I know it has to do with something. We have to get a rook. We have to get a rook here. If we can get a rook there, so I was thinking about here, takes, takes, but then one problem is he's got h5. And that shuts everything down. There. Here, and I think he can actually just come down, attack there. It's like, wow. Owie. Man alive, this is tough. Yeah, the queen sacked us. It's tempting. The only problem is I think he can move his king up, and I'm not sure if we accomplish anything. Nice. Knight f3. Interesting. So knight f3. What happens if he plays h5? Oh, we win the queen. My bad there. Yeah, you win the queen at that point. Yeah, f4 looks potentially... I mean, f3, sorry. Knight f3 looks potentially the correct line. So if he plays here, takes, rook takes, knight takes, check, and you still win the... Actually, you'd win... Let's see. I think you'd win a whole piece at that point. Yeah, here... If he plays there... Let's see here. So are you saying that knight here... Potentially he could just move his king back. Kind of see what you're saying. Maybe he moves his king back. But we're trying to find out to see if there's... That makes the most sense though, because... Yeah, then takes and intercepts there. Yeah. I really don't see any downfall to that. I think we can win this change. We see. I We have two takes. We have here, which allows bishop there, and then we can move. I don't really, in my opinion, I don't like this because then he has that threat there. So I'm with you on the takes there, yeah. And then I believe we just move back to do we move back to G R? Hold on. Yeah, and I guess we could play there, couldn't we? I have no idea. I think that's the only move because you have to take the open file. If he plays here, really doesn't do anything. So we could take, and then if he plays rook takes, we can just check there. I think we can start trading down. I'm only concerned about bishop there. I think we're still. Oh, you. Trying to see if that. I think I think you guys are right because we don't want him to take the open file. That's the only open file to infiltrate into our king's position, and we're still winning now. We can just play here, and then bring our queen back. There's really nothing he could do besides opening. Yeah. That was a good find. I'll do one more, then I got a log. This was good. Good job, guys. Good job, Big Reno. Some reason I didn't see knight f3. That's kind of weird. It's like a blind spot for me. Okay, dokie. Yeah, that's true. Team effort is 100% right. Let's see here. Wow, I can't believe the queen just stuck itself in a poor spot. I see why they're thinking that they can win they can win some material like a bishop. I mean a knight because or a rook. My bad, a rook. Let me see here. Let's see, after bishop takes. Bishop can't take because bishop takes rook. Bishop takes knight. Bishop takes. Queen takes. Queen takes. Pawn takes. Rook takes. So that's not what we want for sure. Yeah. Bishop takes knight. Nice. I see what you're saying. I know why you're saying that. Yeah. Yeah, nice find there. That has to be the move sequence for sure. Because after takes here and then he takes there and there, he has to retreat his queen out. And when he does, and this bishop move connects these two rooks, which allows for the taking to be possible. And we've won a whole piece. Yeah, I like that. Oh. Yikes. Who'd have thunk? That's very interesting. That's okay, we'll do one more. This is interesting for sure. So b5. Very interesting move, that's for sure. That looks really nice. Because you're wanting to draw this rook away so that when takes happens that maybe first we have to play, maybe we actually play queen to c8 first, and then if the rook moves over to a7, then we can drop the bishop to b5. Kind of see what you're saying. Let me see here. Let's see. If he takes there, we take here, and if he takes there, we take there. So here, there. I think you're very close to bishop. Always stitches. Yeah, I can see. I see what you're saying. That's the only stitch. The only problem I see is if we play there, he's got there. And if we take there, he could actually take there. And I'm not sure if. I think we have equal at this point. Trying to see if potentially knight queen to c8 isn't the answer. He moves there, there. We still running the same problem. Oh, interesting. Wait a second. We play here. There. 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 No. Yeah. Oh boy. Trying to see. I'm wondering if it's not. No, that won't work because you can just take there. I was hoping for a little trick like that, but that doesn't work. Be nice if we can get something there and then we play that. That'd win. That'd win the bishop. I mean the rook for a knight. So but that little idea doesn't come to fruition. Because I think if he plays there, he can actually just double up too if he wants to. Boy, this is a... Because the only drawback that I see to that is it's on the same diagonal as the knight and the rook, so... I think that's just a one move idea. I don't really see anything. It's a good idea, but just don't see anything after the continuation of rook there. We'd have to play back there, and then that would arise. Huh. Boy, this just is one big headache of an idea. I like that idea. Don't tell me this. Wow. Gotta be A6, huh? Okay. One more. So A6 was right. Interesting. We'll end on, I want to end on a win, so we gotta work hard. I'm on. We got this. Okay, here we go. I was right about, you were right about A6 Big Reno, so apologize about that. For some reason I didn't see it. I was just like, let me see here. Let's see there. Interesting. But you had to see that silent G4 move. That was like huge. So I gotta remember to look for those silent maneuvers. Let's see, what did that? So you're doing principles, true, because you've noticed that this square is no longer attacked. I mean, it's no longer under attack. Yeah. When this pawn moved, as in Aikido, Aikido would say that what did it leave behind, and Aikido is that this square is left behind. They call it, you call Aikido our drawback chess. Morisashi actually calls it drawback chess, so I call it that. But that's actually where it originated from. It's actually letting your opponent's own energy be the demise of them. Yeah, it's actually in Karate Kid. I think it was Karate Kid 2 that Mr. Miyagi was able to use. He defeated two people, two really like super black belts. He used their own energy against them when they charged at him in the dojo. He moved, and one of them went right into a glass window, or glass mirror. Sorry. Then he also in number one at the very end, the guy got really upset. Yeah, the guy got really upset, and he was gonna punch Mr. Miyagi, but he actually punched the windows. Mr. Miyagi didn't have to even lay one hand on him, and he damaged himself by his anger and wanting basically to crush Mr. Miyagi. Let's see. So whites, if we want to think of it the way that like Mr. Miyagi would say, what, and we looked at this as somebody that would be attacking him. What did that move do? That move did a lot of punch, but guess what? It left behind a spot, F4, or that's yeah F4, and that potentially is an idea to plan around. There's two spots that the pawn gave up as well. There's D4 and F4, so you have to always look there. I forgot which game Maurice Ashley has what Grandmaster C or something like that. He also does one on Alekhine. Almost would have got defeated by this one player if he had known um, the idea of drawback chess and letting their opponent take over. Yeah, E4 is a mistake. Isn't that weird? It looks so right to play E4. You're connecting the pawns. You're punching your opponent. You're getting ready to send these two monster of pawns down the board. But you always have to remember, like Bobby Fischer and the greats understood the drawback chess idea. That each move has a flaw in it. And if you can emphasize the flaw, you will get good positions or better. Knight E4. Knight E4. Oh, sorry, you mean knight E5. Looks good. Or knight E4, let me see. E4 is interesting for sure. Oh yeah, but it's. I believe that that's right because let's see, if we bring our queen into the fight. G4, we're forcing that because if we takes there, we come there, he could just retreat back and he's safe. So what we have to do is we can play check, but the only problem now that I think about it, this knight is hanging, isn't it? Yeah, I kind of see what your idea is. This also has an idea of blocking here as well. What I'm liking in this position is actually pawn takes knight on g5. Pawn takes, but wait a second, we can't do that. That's doesn't work. Yeah. So here. Oh, we have actually queen to queen check at that point. Hmm. Interesting. I forgot that we had this. Yeah, but the knight is actually that's the reason that we're doing that in the first place is I maybe it's bishop takes, rook takes, and then pawn takes. Oh, that is it, isn't it? Then he has to go back. And then you can check. No, we can't do that. Snakies, I'd love to have played here. But the rook takes there. But remember, I believe we could actually take this. Then if takes, we move. He plays there. So here. Well, because then you have to think about this. You're up material, and you can actually give it back. But I see what you're saying. This kind of reminds me of a London system. Potentially, we could take here, takes, knight takes, And then if queen takes, we could play check. Queen takes, rook takes. But I don't know if we really get anything out of that idea. If we play bishop takes. Let's see if we take there. Tension maybe. I don't know if queen takes. See, queen takes queen. See, if we played here and he took there, we could actually check here and then take and win that pawn. So, bye bye. Be blessed. Alright. Well. And we're good to go. We're actually fine. Everything's consolidated. Well, with that, guys, we'll stop here. And you know what? We got a lot. We got like out of 7, we got 4 right, 3 wrong, but we learned. So, well, with that, guys, it's Wesley So says, "Sir Lord Jesus, I say God bless," and I'll see you next time on Chess Cruncher TV. Remember, keep studying chess, keep doing great. You know what? We're going to continue to keep pushing forward. Don't worry about it. You know what? We're getting better. And it's just time. Sometimes the hardest thing to do is actually to learn and to go back, learn. You know, losing points isn't fun, but remember, when you win and get those big points and one on your side and are a draw or whatever when you're over the board, it'll be all worthwhile for that. And remember that you only go back to learn. That's it. You don't dwell there. And remember, we always have to find there's always a plan in the position. We just gotta find it, like Hannibal Smith says. And when we do, we get to say, I love it when a plan comes together. Be blessed, guys, and I'll see you next time on Chess Cruncher TV. Have a great rest of the night. Bye bye.